All right, good day, everybody. Steve Prziborowski here. Welcome to episode 42 of Reach for the Firefighter Badge. Episode 42 is going to continue to build upon the fire department oral interview process, the most important step of pretty much the hiring process in any fire department. So we're going to discuss fire department oral interviews, tips for success, part one. So let's get going. As a reminder, my two websites, code3firetraining.com and schmofire.com, have lots of great free information on them, including links to my books, Reach for the Firefighter Badge, as well as the Future Firefighters Preparation Guide, both valuable books to help you be the best candidate you can be. So let's talk more about the oral interview process. So some general oral interview preparation tips, which is going to keep us busy for the next few episodes because there's a lot of them, but I want to keep them in small, digestible bites. So obviously part one. So some success tips. Make sure your attire is ready to go. And I'm not a fashion expert, as here I am when I'm off duty as I am now. I'm in shorts and t-shirts, so don't look to me for fashion advice. However, find those folks in your family, your friends, maybe somewhere out there, do some Google searching, find some folks to help you dress for success, because that's the key. One nice outfit can do you wonders, put it that way. So again, nice business professional outfit to wear to your interviews, because you'll have probably an interview, a chief's interview, a background investigation, medical evaluation. Have at least one nice outfit to go. But when I say make sure it's ready to go, make sure it's not wrinkled. Make sure it has already gone to the dry cleaners. You know, that's why I suggest, for example, sometimes it's okay to have one suit, maybe for men, but try to maybe have more than one dress shirt, more than one tie, backup plan, because let's say you got back-to-back interviews 2 days in a row. If you can't do your own laundry and your own, I guess, ironing like I can't, I got to go to a dry cleaner. Well, unless you can find a 1 day or less dry cleaner, you may need to have multiple outfits. So have multiple things ready to go. Let me just put it at that. So have your attire ready to go. Nothing worse than, an hour before your interview, you got to leave and you're like, oh my God, where's my tie? Where's my shirt? Where's my pants? Where's my shoes? Oh, my shoes aren't polished. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Plan this out well in advance. Men, women, again, like I said, there's whatever you wear, business, professional is usually the most appropriate, in my opinion, for a fire service interview. Know where you're actually going for the interview. Don't assume the interview is at the firehouse. Most fire department offices are not attached to a firehouse. When I say offices, I mean the offices that usually have the fire chief, the assistant chief, the deputy chief, the command staff members, the people that typically work 40 hours a week. Well, those folks may or may not have offices that are next to a firehouse. They may be in a separate location. So the key is don't assume things. So when you were invited to the oral interview, they should have either mailed you something or emailed you something. Take that document. It's going to have key information on it, sort of like what day, what time, not just what time, but when to report. Maybe it's 1 o'clock is your interview, but in the fine print below it says, okay, 1 o'clock is your interview, but arrive no later than 12:45 to get checked in. And it may say no earlier than noontime, but it usually says what time's your interview, what time to report. If it doesn't say, if all it says is 1 o'clock for your interview, don't be the one that rolls in at 5 minutes till or 2 minutes to. Get there 15, 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes early. No stress. Come in there, just relax a little bit, because maybe the person before you didn't show up or cancel, and then maybe they'll take you in early if you're ready to go. So know where you're going. Don't just, like I said, know the date, the time, but also know the physical location, because it may not be where you think it is. So if you've never been to that physical location before, drive it in regular time. MapQuest it. I mean, think about it. Depending on where you're at, in some areas, morning rush hour traffic. In the San Francisco Bay Area where I'm at, rush hour traffic is like 6 a.m. to like 10 a.m. during normal times. And then maybe starts again like at 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. all the way to 6, 7 p.m. So hell, Southern California, it's like almost 24/7 is the rush hour traffic. So again, know where you're going, leave ample time, especially if it's raining or the weather's extreme, the weather's bad. Don't leave anything to chance. And maybe if it's more than a couple hours away, maybe look at staying with a friend or staying with a family member or getting a hotel or something, especially if it's an 8 o'clock interview, because nothing worse. I remember for me, when I was testing to become a firefighter, there's days you're motivated, days you're not motivated. I remember, stupid me, I had an hour away interview in normal traffic. So it was an 8 o'clock interview. hour drive in normal, it was against traffic, so that wasn't an issue there. But normally I would have left about maybe 6:15, giving myself a little, and this is me again, almost 30 years ago. 8 o'clock interview, I'd leave about 6:15, get there about 7:15 with plenty of time to spare, which wasn't an issue. So I remember waking up at 5:45, half hour to get ready, 5:45, looking out the window, it's pouring ass rain. It looks ugly out there. And I'm like, I don't want to get on the freeway and head out there and holy shit, this is not fun. I went back to sleep. Okay, stupid me. Would I have gotten hired there? Don't know, but all I know is I lost an opportunity to test for a department, a good department. So that's the challenge we have out there. Is what I should have done probably is grabbed a hotel, even though it's an hour away, spent the money on a hotel. So when I wake up, even if I woke up and it's like, well, it's raining, but it's only like 3 blocks away or 4 blocks away, no big deal. Heck, that rain might have only been for the first 20 minutes. I don't know. But again, know where you're going before you get there. I touched on doing a dry run, not just, I encourage you, because don't just, well, Google it to see the street view so I know where I'm going. True, and that's good, but Google Street View isn't everything. I mean, know where to go, but also know where to park. Do you know of any traffic issues? What other challenges that may be out there? Because parking sometimes be a challenge. Do you need to have quarters to feed the meter? Does the meter take credit cards? Do you have to find one pay box that feeds the whole block? I don't know. Do you have to go to a parking garage? Will your big jacked up truck fit in the parking? I mean, a lot of these questions. That's why it's nice when you have time to go out there and you go, well, Steve, I live an hour or two away from the fire department, so I don't have time to do the dry run. Yeah, you do. Make it part of your station visit. If you're going to go visit firehouses, which you need to do as part of the research process, time that in there and go at the same time, because timing may be different. Read the fine print, like I mentioned, because that fine print on that announcement is going to tell you what time, location, what to bring, what not to bring, and so forth. Make sure you can hit the restroom prior. When I say prior, I mean prior to leaving your residence. And then maybe if it's a long drive to the interview, maybe stop a time or two, and just plan ahead. Bring your smile, passion, enthusiasm. Think about that. Most of us are usually smiling, passion, enthusiasm when we walk in because, I'm at my interview, and then we meet somebody. The proctor comes out to say, hey, Steve, nice to meet you. I'm going to walk into your interview, and usually you're smiling. And then guess what happens when you walk in the room and all the Raiders, the 3 Raiders, the 4 Raiders are all sitting there in their Class A uniforms with their gold maybe and their silver and all their, General Patton lookalike stuff. And I mean that in a sincere, positive way. It's very intimidating to see us in our full dress uniform. That's very intimidating. And I see candidates that have walked in, that smile is gone, passion, enthusiasm gone, and they're stressed. They sit down and they're wanting to get the hell out of there. We know you're nervous. We know you're stressed. We're trying our best to put you at ease, but don't take it personal. We try not to be intimidating, but you've got to get over that. So if you can bring your smile, your passion, your enthusiasm, not just bring it, but keep it during the entire interview as well as when you're leaving, it's going to go a long way, because we're looking for people that we want to work with, that we're going to have to work with for days on end, for years on end. So we want good quality people with great characteristics and personality traits. Know that fire department inside and out. And thank God with the internet available, it's a lot easier now to research departments, especially if you don't even live there, or if you live far away, another state. It's really made researching a lot easier, but be careful. Pretty much every website is out of date as soon as the information is updated. It's just what happens. But again, know the fire department, do your research, visit the firehouses. I can't stress that enough. Know the community inside and out. Know the city inside and out. And I say community and city because usually they're synonymous, but in some departments, like a county department, they may cover 7 different cities. They may cover, LA County Fire, I think, covers like 50 some different cities. That's a lot of cities to know. So you're not going to know all 50 plus cities. I mean, LA County's got like almost 200 firehouses. Know as much as you can about the generalistics about the entire area served, but know the community inside and out. We'll talk more about that in some other episodes. But really, more importantly, know yourself inside and out. Because when we go back to episodes 40 and 41 that discuss most common questions, most of those are about yourself. Again, some of the questions may be about the department and the community, but a lot of the questions are about yourself. So we don't know you. You got to know yourself inside and out to be able to tell us about yourself not in a cocky, arrogant way, but in a confident, professional manner. You've also got to be yourself and realizing you won't pick them meaning the department, they're going to pick you. if you're a good fit. And I say that because sometimes I get candidates that are at the college and they say, Chief, you know, I've got an awesome opportunity. I've got like an interview with Oakland on Monday, on Friday, I've got an interview with San Francisco. And then next Tuesday, I got an interview with Alameda County Fire. How should I approach each differently? What should I say differently? It's like, there really shouldn't be that much differently. Everything about yourself should be the same. The only difference is why do you want to work for Alameda County versus Oakland versus San Francisco? Obviously, each of them may have different reasons, but besides that, you should still be yourself, answering from the heart. So nothing should really change, but why you want to work for them should obviously change, and obviously how they're different from the other departments. But don't try to be someone you're not. I hear people, well, I hear that department's looking for this or looking for, you know, just be yourself. Don't try to answer questions the way you think they want them answered, because you're going to be wrong most of the time. Just be yourself. If it's not meant to be a good fit, hey, odds are most of the tests you take are not going to be a good fit. I took over 50 tests and obviously one of them hired me. And I got a couple of job offers beyond that. Actually, 2 hired me. City of Clovis hired me, and then I was ready to start the academy on Monday, but I had to turn in my resignation 3 days before because my current employer hired me. That was a rarity to have 2 job offers at the same time, but it happens. But again, 2 out of 50 departments thought I was a good fit. So, hey, I'm happy that worked out that way. Yeah, most people never get one chance, but the point I'm making is, you think you may be a good fit for department, you may not be. Again, and even if you are, if they don't see it that way, those 2, 3, or 4 oral board members, that's all that matters. So don't think you're a good fit, they'll find you. I've touched on opening statements and closing statements, and I'll talk more in future episodes about opening and closing statements, but I can't stress enough. And that's why I repeat a lot of the things in each of these episodes, because I think they're critically important to remind you about, to maybe have it sink in and say, you know what, I got to do more research on this. But prepare your opening and closing statements in advance, just like prepare answers for other oral board questions in advance. Rehearse your answers. Don't memorize them. Please don't be in the oral interview and as soon as they ask the question, you're like, boom, 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 boom. No, you got to be human. Take a pause. All right, get in there. Because if you come across as memorized, you're going to sound like a robot, and it's going to be awkward, versus being able to have personality and a general idea of what you want to say is critical, because you don't want to be the candidate that when they ask the question, you're like, well, heck, that's a good question. I love it when I hear that. Of course, it's a good question. That's why we're asking it. Yeah. Or, wow, I've never thought about that. You should have thought about that if you were that prepared. So again, this is not difficult stuff if you've done your homework. Also, another success tip, if you're going to start something, finish it. Meaning on your resume, if you have a lot of incomplete things like degrees or other things, finish them up. I mean, again, most departments do not require a college degree, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, many people get hired with incomplete degrees or no college. But again, one of the character traits we're looking for is, have you completed what you started? Because, or did you squirrel? That happens a lot, but you know, try to at least show some completion through. It helps provide a better look at your character, or lack of. Ensure you've done extensive research in firehouses before. I can't stress that enough. Just critical key stuff here. So as we end this episode, in the next 143, we're going to discuss more of my suggested oral interview preparation tips. So as always, my contact information, social media footprint. Until the next episode, take care, be safe, and we'll see you soon.